Welcome to the University of Marriage podcast, where Apostle Folorunso answers your most pressing questions on love, commitment, and navigating marital vows.
I don't think what a person looks like is the most important in choosing a spouse, because that's not enough. To have a happy marriage, you need to look at a lot of attributes in the person before you can have a happy home and, a happy love life. So looks is just an aspect of what you should be checking out. And okay, what about, let's say it's a man that's asking this question and he's talking about these looks. You know, they do refer to women as being like flowers that will eventually fade. So what's going to happen if that's the only thing you're looking at to marry someone, to choose someone as a life partner? When she begins to have children, when she's growing older and the composition of her body is different from how she was when you first married her, and that was the reason why you married her, and then, she starts to fade. Does that mean your love for her fades and goes down the ladder and you turn away, you don't like her anymore, and that was the only reason why you married her? I don't think that's the most important thing. Even men change. If it's a woman asking this question, even men change. Some begin to have pot bellies and, totally different from how they were when they were still slim and you got married at the beginning. So it shouldn't be just looks. I think it's supposed to be character. You should look at the person's character. How does this person behave to you at home and in public and amongst the family? Look at all that. What kind of person is this person? Is this a loving person? Is this a kind person? Is this a generous person? Is this a person that will give their life for you? Or is this a person that will just walk out on you anytime that he or she is angry? And for them, it's a good excuse to turn their backs and maybe even turn away completely from the marriage. Is that what you want? So you have to look at all these things and more too before you choose a life partner. Is this someone who's going to love children? Or is this someone that's not going to want children and maybe hasn't even told you, and yet you want a lot of children? You need to talk about all these things to find out who this person is. It's not everything you're going to find out. Some you're going to find out after you're married. But at least for the ones that you can find out at the beginning, you must surely do that and not just rely on looks. Looks can even deceive. Okay, a man is looking for a beautiful woman. She must be this and that. She must have these curves. You must have a big bust. And supposing even the bust that you're looking at is even fake. You never know. Yeah, could be. Because you're only supposed to see, you're not supposed to look, behind those clothes or under those clothes. So you need to be careful, to rely on choosing a life partner just by looks. That's dangerous. I wouldn't if I were you. Can you marry a woman that has no source of income? I don't remember when I ever read or heard that the foundation for marriage is money. I thought it's love. And if it's love, is it for the love of the money? Or is it for the love of the woman? If you love the woman, it won't be about money. I think the money will just be icing on the cake, not the most important part. So if it's about money, it's not that you shouldn't think about it at all, but I don't think it should be the basis for that marriage. And you know, money can be fleeting. You can have today and not have tomorrow. We've seen people who have gotten married and maybe after a few months, before the end of that year, they lose their jobs. What would you do then? This person has lost their job for whatever reason. And I thought it's for better, for worse. Or maybe the person, I don't want to be the devil's advocate, but we just have to suppose and suppose, since we don't have all the answers, all the questions you could possibly ask after this, since we're not seated in a conversation. I'm not seated in a conversation with you directly. So, supposing this person has an accident and means of earning money, suddenly had a job before, and suddenly the person has an accident. I thought it's for better or for worse. What do you do then? So I don't think it should be based on money. As I said, it will be an added advantage because two heads are better than one. So what I'm saying is, make sure that you love this person and this person loves you. Money can come and will come. Even if they don't have that money right there and then. So long as you love one another, I believe that the money will come, because then you put your heads together and you'll find a way to make more money than you were making when you were still courting. You read in the Bible that the wife is the helper of the husband. So you would expect that the husband should pay the bills. He's the head of the family. So it's not a matter of choices when it's convenient. So you may say, well, when it comes to paying bills, well, that's not convenient, so it should be both of us. So if you're the head, you're the head. If you're supposed to be the one to provide, then provide. And you can get help from your wife. So it's not a matter of, yes, this is how it should be because it's convenient for you if both of you pay the bills. But if we look at how life is these days, where everything's expensive all around us, not just in this country, but in all countries all over the world, you find that there's hardly ever enough money. You understand me? If we're to be realistic. So we always need more money because we want to do this, we want to do that. And if we can get more money, we can do all those things and more. So the wife can help out. I think it's the head of the family that's supposed to, but there's nothing wrong if the wife is helping, because that's what God said. He created the woman to help the man. And I see nothing wrong in helping the man, provided that he's also going to appreciate the fact that his wife is a good helper. He's helping him in, various aspects of the marriage and should show appreciation of her. That's how I feel. I don't know about the scriptural part, but if you are looking for things that could be, that you could do within your family to make things comfortable for the two of you and for your children within your family, I don't see anything wrong in having joint accounts if, capital if, you trust your spouse. Because if you don't trust your spouse and you have joint accounts, you could be in for a surprise. So I think that while you are courting, for instance, I believe that everybody should court. You don't just say, oh, I saw you, I like you, I don't really like you, I love you, let's get married. Nobody does that. Hardly. I mean, in most marriages that you see, that hardly happens. So you court. While you're courting and you're developing your relationship, you will know whether this kind of person is very likely to be someone that you want to live the rest of your life with, and that you can trust this person. Or it could be that even after you get married, that you still want to continue to observe your husband or your wife before you finally make up your mind as to whether you can have a joint account. Then do that. But I believe that it's very, very important for you to know that within your heart and be convinced that it's okay to have a joint account. But then, who says you have to have a joint account? You don't have to. You can have a common projects within the marriage, and it could be like, okay, we're both working. You bring your portion, I bring my portion to do or to execute the project that we want to execute. And the project could differ from time to time. It could be the building of our home, or we want to take a mortgage, or that, we've changed our minds. We don't even want our children to study here. Okay. You want them to study abroad. Oh, but there aren't enough funds unless it's a joint venture. And you both agree that that's what you want to do. Yeah, the woman can help out. And that's okay. There's no hard or fast rule about it. And nothing is cast in stone. But you really have to think deeply about it, because it's all about trust. Trust, trust. I was going to say, oh, this is an easy question. But when you say without helps, that's a difficult question. Because these days, most couples are both working to be able to meet up with the economic challenges that everybody faces all over the world these days. So combining all of these things together nowadays, and then without any help, that's going to be a tough cookie. It's going to be a tough cookie. So how are you going to do it? I don't think it's possible. The children have to go to school. You are the mother who's going to dress them up. You're going to be the driver who's going to help. Is going to take them there to school. So because I believe that maybe you don't even have a driver. So, and then even if you do have a driver, do you just want to send them with the driver to school, or someone needs to go with them to school? So who's going to go with them to school? Is it not that helper of the helper that's going to take the children to school? Because you have to be at your desk maybe by 8 o'clock. School starts at 8 o'clock. You can't be in two places at once. So you have to have a helper. Okay, how about the cooking part? Okay, let's say you get around it. You've started your cooking the night before. You've cooked it up to half, and there's going to be lunch for the children. Who's going to give the children lunch while you're busy at work? You have to have a helper. You can't say, oh, I'm only going to do part-time. And if you do part-time, it's part-time money. You will be paid for the work that you've done. So you get half salary. Okay, you're doing full-time. So where are the children going to be? Up to when you close at 5 o'clock? What's going to happen? Okay, let's say they're going to be with their grandparents. But the grandparents don't live with you. You still have to go and get them and come back. The stress is much. And if you're not careful, you can break down. Everybody needs help. Otherwise, you being the help for your husband, stay at home. And if you stay at home, the money that comes into the family is reduced. So what goes around comes around. So you have to choose what you want. I don't think that it's sensible for both of you to say you're not going to get help and you're going to have to do all of that and also go to work. I think that's extremely challenging. In a case like that, you and your husband would have to sit down and talk about it, analyze it, and maybe even try it out. And you'll find that is what that movie says, Mission Impossible. That's what I think. It's either you think it's going to be possible, you do it, and from time to time, you break down. Is that what you want? End up in hospital from time to time? Or you bring in relatives. Relatives are helpers. Without any help, forget it. It's not going to happen. I don't think so. I hope today's conversation has been a blessing to you. Remember, marriage is a journey of commitment, love, and faith. Join me every Saturday for new episodes where I'll continue answering your most important questions. Please don't forget to send your questions to the information display on the screen. Thanks for watching. See you next Saturday.